Guys, Dan Hendriksen here. We're at Torquay Golf Club, and today we're going to be reviewing the Scotty Cameron Newport 2.5 putter. I've brought James Urquhart in with me today, who's the head coach here at Torquay. He's a bit of a whiz when it comes to the Sand Putt Lab, so we're going to be putting this putter through its paces and focusing on the neck and how it performs for me personally with Sand Putt Lab. Now, if you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. Got loads more content coming your way, but for now, let's have a little look at what the Scotty Cameron Newport 2.5 is offering. So first impressions looking down at this putter is it looks just like my Newport 2 putter. The only slight difference with this model is the neck on it, and we'll talk about the specs on that in just a moment. But looking down on it from a profile point of view, if you compare it, let's say, to the Newport range, so the original Newport, it's slightly bigger in its profile. The Newport is a little bit more rounded on the edges of its profile as well, which is, again, slightly different from the look. But for me personally, looking down on something that's slightly bigger just gives me a little bit more confidence. In this new range, you've got a slightly thinner top rail as well, which Scotty Cameron is saying that it's a little bit easier to line up with. You've also got a firmer face. Again, over the years, you've seen sort of trends or sort of ideas that having a softer insert on the face is definitely giving the player more feedback, where Scotty's saying now that actually having a firmer feel off the face is possibly giving a better feedback for the player. Now, when it comes to the actual profile of the putter, it looks very, very similar to previous models as you would expect in the Newport range. However, this year, for me personally, it's definitely gone slightly slimmer in its profile. Top rail, just that slightly bit thinner, and obviously around the head as well, just giving those details of lines and curvatures. Just he's dialing into it a little bit for the eye to make it sit a little bit better in your eye. Now, let's head over to James and have a little look at what the spec of this club is all about.
Yeah, so we've got the adjustable weights on the sole of the putter here, again interchangeable depending on the length of the putter, which we'll get into in a minute. The lie and the loft are standard, which is 70 degrees of lie, 3.5 degrees of loft.
And that's changeable?
That is changeable, yeah. Yeah, so that can be changed a degree for loft either way and 2 degrees for lie either way, depending on what the player's looking for. And that's customized by Titleist. It's a slant neck. Again, we've got a slant neck in this putter, which is creating a mid to high toe flow. So
big difference between this one and, let's say, the Newport 2.
Yeah, there is.
It's just purely the neck, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
which
purely
allows
the neck.
The head to just drop a little bit in the toe area, drop down, and give you a bit more flowing action, releasing the putter a bit more.
A little bit more rotation,
yeah.
A little bit more of a feel of toe flow moving through the ball. Then we've got 35 inches through to 33 inches in length, depending what you're looking for, and is adjustable by ½ inches.
Okay.
So it goes in increments by ½ inches if you're getting it custom fit.
If they were buying in the shop, they're going to find 33, 34 and 35 inches in length.
Yeah.
And then in the weight head change, that's going to move as well, isn't it? Depending on the length of the putter.
Correct, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then we've got the Pasolini Plus grip, as on all the Select range, the new Select range, which is, like we've spoken about, slimmer in size, and is maybe targeted towards players who are looking just for a little bit more feel.
That's certainly something that Scotty Cameron's talked about with this particular range, is that we're going into something that is slightly more feel orientated.
Yeah. And
still having the option though of a bigger grip if you want it through the custom option.
I think because of the design of the putter, this grip complements it, because it's lovely to get feedback from such a well-designed putter like this.
James, tell me about the Newport 2.5 and how I'm getting on with it from Sam Putt Labs' point of view.
Seeing some really good numbers, which I would expect to see from a player of your calibre. Great rotation.
Yeah.
Fantastic rotation. Even better rotation than your own putter, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Visually, looking down at it, looks exactly obviously the same as what I'm using currently, which is the Newport 2.
Yeah.
Just the neck. Again,
don't like the neck. You don't like the slanted neck, do you?
I don't think I do in that head style.
Yeah.
I think if you put the Laguna in my hands, or the Ping Zing 2 with that same neck, that has a slightly different profile, I would happily play
Get
it.
on with it, yeah.
But in that particular head model, I just think that it's too traditional for the plumb neck. I think they go hand in hand with that head. That's why I really struggle with it. Even though you're saying it's given me some good numbers.
And I think there's potential that that's in your own head, and I think that's really important. I need to understand that when I have a customer and they're really got their heart set on that.
Yeah.
That does make a big difference to the decision that they're going to make and the information that I'm going to relay across to them, because at the end of the day, you've got to like the look of it.
Yeah.
You have to like the look of it. And I can already tell if you had expressed how much you dislike this slant neck already, I would be beginning to maybe pick out the negative. Any negative that I can find, if you're really disliking it that much, I'd be trying to find it. And like I said, rotation fantastic. But again, consistency down, face impact, whether that's because you're used to your 2.0 or whether that's just because the 2.0 is better for you, that's highly debatable. But I would probably push you towards your own putter, just because you like the look of it, you like the feel of it, and at impact it's performing better.
I've got used to it, haven't I?
Yeah.
What about loft then? So we've got 3.5 degrees of loft on this putter.
3.5 degrees, yeah.
Set. So
Set
what am I doing to
loft.
it? I normally de-loft the putter fractionally.
Yeah, usually de-loft it. Again, the same, no difference here. You're de-lofting it by 0.8 a degree.
Yeah.
Predicted launch 2.3, so right plumb in the middle of perfect.
Okay.
I would be very happy with this in terms of loft. At present, I would put you in a standard.
So you wouldn't tinker around with the lofts at all? Considering that I play on fast greens and slow greens week in, week out, I can move from one, with a bit of filming.
Yeah.
I can be on quick greens one week and slow greens the next week. And you think that kind of setup would work perfectly for
spot
that?
On. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely spot on. But for your particular, for the position that you're in, I would be fitting you in something. Exactly
so ideally, if you think about a player looking at this video now going, well, what do I need? Obviously, it really depends on what they're delivering at impact.
Absolutely,
loft-wise.
Yeah.
But it also depends on what greens they play on. So if they're based in hot climate where you've got generally faster greens, you might take a bit of loft off.
Yeah,
and
you would. Yeah.
In the winter time, if we're playing on slower greens, then possibly adding a fraction loft might help as well.
And you hit the nail on the head a minute ago, mentioning about how much loft they're delivering, and not just talking about static loft. So someone could watch this video and think, I play on fast greens, I'm at a links golf course, for example, I need to de-loft this putter. They may be presenting negative loft, which I sometimes see from some of my lessons here on Sam. So when I see that, straight away, I'm changing their move. I'm not going to add a ton of loft to a putter because someone's presenting negative loft. So again, like you said, it's really dependent on the person. Yeah. And Sam will show that on the fitting. And
just something we didn't mention, and I've not mentioned it earlier in this video, is that we've got quite heavy weights now in comparison to, let's say, the previous model of the Newports, let's say the 2018 select range. Yeah. We had sort of 10, 15 and 20 gram weights that went into those heads.
That's right. Yeah.
However, now we've got the 30s, 35 and 40 option. So what they've done here is they've stripped out the weight out of the putter and they've kind of pushed it onto the heel and the toe in order to get a little bit higher MOI.
MOI, yeah.
Correct. So they're trying to get as much, so if you get off-centered strikes with these putters, they're trying to give you as much forgiveness as we can get. And by pushing the weight onto the outsides of the putter, on the perimeter weighting, it's just going to give you that little bit more stability.
Exactly right.
Which we haven't talked about before, but it's certainly something to mention in this model compared to previous ones.
Completely agree.
So there you go, there's a little insight into the Newport 2.5 putter. Obviously, thank you to James for coming in and helping me out with looking at the SAM numbers. As you can see, if I'm honest, James would probably like to see me in this putter more than probably my own putter because of the fact that it's the similar shape as you look down on it, but it gives me just that little bit more rotation as we come through there on my putts. But I'd like to hear your comments down below. If you're in the market for a putter and you're interested in this particular putter, put your comments down there. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. As always, stay safe and we'll catch up with you again soon.